Poetry can be used as a window into a more ideal world, and through certain poets such as William Wordsworth and John Milton, poetry can be a tool to amend the society and culture of its time by influencing its religion, politics, and even literature itself, by bringing forth certain values such as manners, virtue, and freedom by providing power to the poet's words.
In order to provide our listeners with clarity prior to our reading of William Wordsworth, London, 1802, we have selected the more challenging vocabulary used in the poem. First, we have fen. Fen is a noun, and it means a low and marshy or frequently flooded area of land. The second word we chose to define is stagnant, and that means that having no current or flow and often having an unpleasant smell as a consequence. Our third word is bower, and a bower is a noun, and it means a summer house or a country cottage. And our final word is dower. A dower is a noun, and it's a widow's share for life of her husband's estate.
Milton, thou shouldst be living at this hour. England hath need of thee. She is a fen of stagnant waters. Altar, sword, and pen, fireside, the heroic wealth of hall and bower, have forfeited their ancient English dower of inward happiness. We are selfish men. Oh, raise us up, return to us again, and give us manners, virtue, freedom, power. Thy soul was like a star, and dwelt apart. Thou hadst a voice whose sound was like the sea, pure as the naked heavens, majestic, free. So didst thou travel on life's common way, in cheerful godliness, and yet thy heart the lowliest duties on herself did lay.
London, 1802 is set in England in the year stated in the title. Wordsworth is making a declaration to the deceased poet John Milton, as well as all of England, about the stagnant state that England is in.
The main purpose of Wordsworth's poem is to highlight the influence that poets have in shaping society through illustrating the values that are key to civility.
Wordsworth chose words such as fen and stagnant to provide readers with a sense of lifelessness and inactivity. Furthermore, he proposes that John Milton, through his pure voice, his majestic poetry, and exemplary lifestyle of cheerful godliness, could vanquish the dreary stagnancy plaguing England and grace it with manners, virtue, freedom, and power.
Wordsworth uses images such as Milton's soul being like a star that dwelt apart to support his belief that Milton was truly a shining poet who was above the others of his time. His voice being described as pure as the naked heavens illustrates the idea that his character is more dignified than that of the common man.
Some symbols included in the poem are the altar, sword, pen, and fireside. These symbols are the pillars of society. The altar stands for religion, the sword for military and politics, the pen for literature, and the fireside represents the home. Poetry influences each of these pillars by providing the people with moral standards within each aspect.
London, 1802 is a Petrarchan sonnet, which is a poem composed of 14 lines of iambic pentameter. By creating a Petrarchan sonnet, Wordsworth was able to create a situation and comment structure, the situation being England's stagnant inactivity, and the comment being a need for resurgence in influential literature and productivity in society.
In this poem, Wordsworth uses colons before he lists positive qualities that Milton possesses and could bring back to England. An example would be the altar, sword, and pen, and how Milton's words were able to affect each of these pillars of society for the better. At the end of the poem, Wordsworth's tone of admiration for Milton reflects his successes in influencing the society of his time, but at the beginning, the tone is one of resentful frustration with England. Wordsworth, through his compliments to Milton, presents an argument regarding the manners, virtue, freedom, and power a society ought to hold. He was trying to reform the society of his time by calling upon a once great poet who was able to use the power of his words to provide his society with qualities which had long been absent.